Tag show. Tag show. That's gonna leave a mark, Taylor.
That's undisputed because I'm undisputed. On to the takedown. The Dusty Rhodes Classic champion. So the Broserweights actually won the tournament. How did you feel about this?
I wasn't happy with their win. I like Pete Dunne and I also like Matt Riddle, but it goes back to the conversation that we constantly have in regards to single competitors teaming up and then winning whatever tournament or a tag team. The same thing happened last year with Aleister and Ricochet. You know what I mean?
This done with Samoa Joe and Finn Balor.
Correct. It's like, how do we build up tag team wrestling if we keep throwing single competitors and letting them win? I know those are the names, but how do we build new stars? And I'm not saying NXT has an issue with building stars.
Sorry. Aleister Black and Ricochet didn't win. Undisputed Era won. That's why they're trying to be two-time.
The Dusty Rhodes,
was it the year before that or the last
Aleister and Ricochet won.
So Undisputed won.
And they faced at Mania Takeover War Raiders or Viking Raiders.
So when did Undisputed Era win? The year before that?
I believe it had to be 2018, but definitely Aleister and Ricochet. Double check.
Yeah, I'm checking now.
But my whole point is, how do you build up tag team wrestlers, wrestling, if you're going to constantly keep throwing single competitors into these type of competitions? So I wasn't really happy with the win. It was a cool match. I wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, by the way, that's exactly what happened last year. Aleister Black and Ricochet. The year before that was Undisputed Era. Yeah, definitely. I didn't, even with the young grizzled veterans, right? I didn't really buy them was going to win anyway throughout the entire tournament. Even when they beat Undisputed Era with the help of, Imperium, it was just like they don't deserve to be in the finals.
Yeah.
Because they're about to lose then.
Yeah.
So you think I'm going to expect them to beat the Broserweights? Like, granted, they're the competitors, and I agree with that. But like I said last week when I was talking about the AEW, is that at least they make an effort to do tag teams together. Like, combine their moves, like, at least like to show like they practice. But I do get the aspect of this team's been together longer. So they should have better chemistry than you do. So,
I mean, I don't even think they should have been in the finals with them, but that's neither here or there. Again,
and who did they beat?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But like, tag team wrestling. I don't want to say it's at an all-time low, but you got to build new stars.
They have to. They got to find new tag teams. A lot of the tag teams don't want to. And the thing is that a lot of the tag teams don't want to kind of trying to avoid this company because of how they've been treated. And this is why the Revival is trying to stand up for it, but we'll see what happens. And that's the time for that. Look at that. Got it right on the money. Mm-hmm. Heading into the next segment, Drew McIntyre is going to challenge Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
How do you feel about that?
That's great. Like, he's believable the way he eliminated Brock with the help of Ricochet.
Big, strong dude. He's a Vince guy.
Right.
I won't say he's a Vince guy.
He's the chosen one.
He's the chosen one. He has what Vince is looking for in big, buff dudes.
Right.
So I like it. It's believable to me. And then you said you had a point or something that you want to discuss in regards to his match.
Yeah, I mean, I like Drew McIntyre. He looked as strong. Brock Lesnar really sold the Claymore kick when he got eliminated. He was on the floor for a good 3 minutes before he got up. Yeah. It was a good sell.
Also, too, Brock was out there for mad long. And
right.
So, like you said, it was a good sell.
It was a good sell. The only thing I didn't like is that you tore down a legit team, your best team in the world from your tournament. They won the tournament for best team in the world, and then you feed them to Drew for what? You could have did that with, here's the perfect time for jobbers. If you really wanted to get that point across. Yeah. Like, you just destroyed a legitimate team for what? So now if they want to contend for the tag team titles, they look crazy because you just lost to Drew McIntyre a couple of weeks ago by yourself.
Yeah.
What do you got? Like, this goes back to the tag team. What do you, like, Do you not care about your tag team division?
I don't even think he needed to have screw the whole jobbers thing. I think you didn't have to have him be put in a match to have him declare that he wants to face Brock at WrestleMania and do what you did. Brock came out
Popped out of nowhere
and F5 him. So now this is how you build a feud. He didn't have to be in a match against.
He showed how dominant he was the night before.
Yeah.
Like, why would you need to do that?
You don't need. We get it. We see how he looks. His moveset. We get he's dominant. You don't need a match to squash.
That's
like
overriding. That's that overriding that WWE likes to do a lot.
Exactly.
Like, let's make sure they understand. No, we're not that dumb.
Understand your audience gets it. Yep, exactly.
We got it. He's a threat. Let Brock come out and attack him, show that he's a threat. When the last time Brock surprised somebody? Brock usually just come to your face. Mm-hmm. Let him pop up on him. Like, all right, you're a threat. Mm-hmm. But that was my thing. Like, I didn't like that they tear down. You know me. I'm very passionate about the tag team division. Like, I just want them to do better with it.
I agree.
Another great moment of the night was the Legend Killer Strikes. Who didn't see this coming?
I didn't see it coming, but then you got it. Then it was like it's Randy Orton. It just reminded me of just like 2010 or whatever. Just the old vicious Legend Killer with the buzz cut, Randy Orton. And I was looking at it. I was like, yo, he looks good. Like, because I feel like the past couple of years, Randy's like
been slacking.
He hasn't been tight with his body, but he looked really good.
Yeah, he's been prepared for this. He's been prepared. He's like, what? Edge is coming back? Yeah. I got him.
So, and it was nice to see Edge back.
Right. Some people feel like that angle went too far. What do you think?
I don't. It's you damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? It's like you want WWE to be a little bit edgier. You want them to do things that are, have you on the edge of your seat. They do it, and then it's an issue. I enjoyed it. It obviously Randy protected the hell out of him.
Right.
Edge sold the hell out of it.
Right.
This is gonna build up a great feud.
Do you think it's gonna be at Elimination Chamber or is it gonna be WrestleMania?
I think it has to be at Mania. It's foolish for them if they.
So what do they do at Elimination Chamber then?
They don't have to. Not everything has to be rushed, and that's the problem with WWE. Like, it's either they'll rush into a feud and not let it build out, or they'll start a feud and let it play out for way too long. It doesn't have to be a match at Elimination Chamber. Let them feud.
Do you see them putting them both in the Elimination Chamber match? And then
I don't think they should be. I don't think they need to be in the Elimination Chamber match. Let them have a match at Mania. You don't have to be in Elimination Chamber.
But how you build it between now for 2 months?
What you just did. Shots were fired. Edge started it in at Royal Rumble when he was like, yo, it's
I know not to trust you.
That's not, well, he was like, that's not, I don't think that's what he said.
No, that's what he said.
Edge, it was more so like, I'm trying to get to Mania.
Yeah, it was that too, but it's also like when...
It wasn't that. He literally pointed and was like, yo, is one for all? Like, that's what
I gotta watch that again, because I feel like he said that first before he pointed to the sign.
Yeah, and then, what else? And then the following night, Randy shot back. That's how you build a feud. You don't have to... Like I said, sometimes... Going back to the Attitude Era when Rock and Austin, for how many months they were building up that feud, and it was an epic, classic feud and build-up. Sometimes everything, you don't need to have a match right away. They could be in a tag team match. They could be in this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they gotta be something that they can't just eliminate, like, not show up.
They don't have to though. You don't have to. Not everything needs a match. Why does he need to be in a match in Elimination Chamber?
I'll tell you why, but we ran out of time.
No, you can't.
Tag show.